Hi, my name is Matt. Did you have a few minutes so I can talk to you?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's start with your name. Can I get your name, please?
Amanda.
Good to meet you, Amanda. Do you know where we are?
We're at my house.
Well, thanks for having me here. Do you know the date today?
It's February 16th.
Well, happy Friday to you. And this is just going to be a general exam, psychological exam. Have you ever done anything like that in the past?
No, not that I can recall.
All right. Well, I do it for all my patients. So I'll be asking you a series of questions. If there's any time that you feel a little uncomfortable or something's triggering you, just let me know and we can take a break. But I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. So how are you feeling today? How's your mood?
I feel fine.
That's great. Well, let's try to keep it that way, shall we? Is there any goals in your life, and primary goals in your life that you're really trying to strive for at this time?
Just trying to be a better person today, raise my kids.
I can understand. How many kids do you have?
2.
Awesome, awesome. Is there anything that's holding you back from those goals?
No, just gotta work towards that.
Understand. Is there anything that you would say that you're really good at?
Probably my job.
Okay, what do you do? If you don't mind me asking, you can be as vague as you want, or you can be as specific to that job that you feel like you're really good at.
I manage people.
Okay. Is there anything that you feel like could be struggling in those areas as far as managing people, or any other areas of your life?
No, I think I do a pretty good job.
Awesome. So nothing really stopping you from achieving some of those goals. Just keep working hard.
Yeah.
Understand that. Is there any techniques that you use when you're feeling like either overwhelmed or stressed or anxious at any point?
Usually just try to take a step back and think about what may be making me stressed, and try to remind myself that these things will pass and not something that's going to continue to hopefully trigger me in the future.
Absolutely. And as far as things that you've done in the past that helps you with those things, do you ever have any kind of rituals, or even sometimes people might call them obsessions, things that maybe help you along your day, preparing for your day, anything like that?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Okay, I can understand that. So nothing's really that difficult. Things are kind of going well. You're pretty strong. Okay. Is there any fears or phobias that you have out there in life? Like maybe you wake up one day and you don't have money in your bank account, or, that's of course extreme, but is there anything that, comes to mind when I think of phobias, like spiders or anything silly like that?
Nothing really. I mean, if I really think deep, I'm sure I could think of things, but nothing that consumes me.
Okay.
From day to day.
Do you have any hobbies or anything like that that help with your time? Or I know you said the word consume, but it could be good. It could be, consuming in a negative way or positive way. Do you have anything that you do as far as a hobby or anything like that?
I don't think I really have time for hobbies. I work full time. I've got 2 kids.
I can understand that, definitely. So in that sense, I'm going to jump into a little bit tougher question. We're talking about things that you might be afraid of or not afraid of, kids not being there for them, things like that. Have you ever thought about suicide?
No.
You ever had a night where you just wanted to go to sleep and not wake up in the morning?
No, even on hard nights.
Okay.
I still want to wake up.
Okay. And then as far as, let's talk about other people or your kids. Have you ever thought about hurting them or anybody else?
Hurting them? No.
Okay.
Sometimes I wish I had a break from them, but never would want them to be in danger.
Understand. Yeah, breaks can be nice. They can definitely be beneficial. Have you ever, had an intention to hurt yourself, whether it's, completing the task of killing yourself or just hurting yourself physically or mentally?
No, not that I can recall.
Okay, so not hurting other people, not hurting yourself. I do appreciate you sharing those, tougher subjects with me. Is there any, main purpose that you have for coming here today, or is this just kind of part of your job training, or what's kind of the goal or the outset for you?
Just kind of a general wellness check. I feel like it's good to check in and just see if the way I'm thinking is the right way of thinking.
Do you ever feel like you need someone to talk to, or do you feel like you do have that kind of support system around you?
I feel like I have a really good support system, so normally I don't, but I know a lot of people go and see specialists, so I figured, well, why not see what it's all about?
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time today and answering these questions. If there's anything else that you can think of, I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, you stay safe and have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right. So after my initial MSE with Amanda, I was able to complete the D part of my DAR, and I really think that we gathered a lot of data. So I'm going to go ahead and list that data and go from there. So for her general appearance, she was dressed appropriately. She had her grooming upkept and well kept. Her hygiene was there. There was definitely no visible, things sticking out. There was no body odor. That was part of it. When she was walking into the room, her gait was absolutely normal. There was no kind of shuffle. There was no kind of issue with that. And again, she is dressed perfectly for this occasion and this date. Her body language was there. She was using her hands. She was making good eye contact. She definitely wasn't restless. She wasn't even shaking her legs, grinding her teeth. Everything was appropriate to the conversation that we were having. We were able to build some initial rapport. She opened right up, and there was no kind of issues with her holding back. Her speech rate was normal, definitely not sped up, definitely not slow or anything like that, completely normal. The quality was completely clear. There was no pressured words. There was no emphasis on any kind of rhythm or any kind of subject that we were talking about, nothing that took her back. Everything stayed pretty consistent, and it was a normal quality. As far as, quantity, there was no extra information. There definitely was no limit of information. It was all consistently flowing as I was asking the questions, and I think she felt pretty comfortable. Her subjective mood and her objective mood, I would say, were both on par. They were both the same. She said they're good. She didn't say okay. Definitely good was the general sense that I was feeling from the conversation. Nothing that stood out. I know we're looking for some of the abnormals, but nothing did stick out as far as her mood. It seemed like a generally, normal state of mind. As far as the mood that affected her body language, again, this was all congruent. There's no situations where she felt either, labile or restless. She was answering the questions comfortably, and she was able to complete the MSE without having to pause, get up, or be triggered. The way her thought process works, she definitely believes that she is in control of her own life, and I would agree of the same. She definitely had a knowledge of her own self and well-being and the people around her, and some of those characteristics were absolutely logical. There was nothing that went off on a tangent. She was able to ask my questions. I know we could have dug in a little bit further with some of those, but even then, to come back pretty much, in the sense of staying on topic, staying within the scope of what we were talking about, and she was able to, again, maintain eye contact without breaking the concentration. So really appreciate that. As far as the thought content and perception, the central theme was the conversation. It really felt like a conversation. As we were just navigating through some of the easier questions and tougher questions, she was able to answer all of them without any kind of interruption or, again, any kind of pause. She was negative for obsessions, rituals, and phobias, as well as suicidal ideation. I did not go over hallucinations. As she said, she is feeling pretty normal, and none of those thoughts came to mind, but I did not ask that question. As far as the cognition to time, place, she's A&O times 4. There's absolutely no reason why you would think otherwise. And as far as insight and judgment, she, executed both good for insight and judgment. There was definitely, a clear path, goals in life, and she had a plan on how to get those goals. So if I'm having another conversation with her, I would definitely ask her, kind of in passing without making it too much of a joke, as well as not too serious, to see maybe if she's ever had an episode where she's, had any kind of hallucination, because obviously when we think hallucination, we think auditory or visual, but it could be a tactile or olfactory hallucination that she may have had in the past. That could have triggered something. So I will ask that from her in the future, but as of now, all signs point to normal, and we will continue from there. Thank you.